Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a post-match reaction following Celtic's League Cup final win over Rangers. Celtic winning 5-4 on penalties to claim their 119th trophy in their history. Alistair, how you doing after that one?
I have pulses just a bit back in place, Josh, but that was stressful, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
Consume enough booze to
But
get your
all
heart.
will end well. But funny enough, Josh, on the way out, listening to the radios on the way home, I thought we lost. Because you would honestly, I thought that.
Aye. But Alistair, as you said, the game, to be honest, there's not really going to be much reaction. There's going to be a reaction to what we've done as an
We're
achievement.
gonna gloat and we deserve to gloat because
Aye. Alistair, as we were speaking about this game's been on my mind for a few weeks, man. I had a really bad feeling about, not a bad feeling, but really strange feeling. Looked like that in the game, but just to get it over the line, because eyes
it
maybe we
feels
get,
like a weight's been lifted.
and I think it's I credit the team. The standards are that high at this club at the moment. As if we're not having we've started to see maybe half drop offs, and that's us a bit like we're not really playing too great at the moment. And then they were getting a bit of form the last year month, and I felt it was vital. It was vital that we got a result today and we got that cup. Just A, because of the ramifications of this whole trophy hall thing, but B, just to put another marker down and says we are the best team in Scotland. We have been for decades. We've been the best team in Scotland, realistically, if you look at it, since 2003.
Since the turn of the millennium, I would say.
Um,
But yeah, I get your point. I mean, Josh, at the end of the day, cup finals are all about winning.
aye.
Seeing about 5 days time, the fact is, Rangers fans will console themselves by saying they played well and all the rest of it. But once the high or how unlucky were we, that is their narrative. But once that fades away, they'll think, my God, we've chucked another trophy away.
And you know
That's
what?
what
On the face, it was a fantastic game, and Rangers brought to that game.
yeah.
But as you said, Alistair, at the end of the day, it's us again going away with the trophy, because that's what we do. We set the standard. We have set the standard since 2016 when Brendan Rodgers was first appointed,
Yeah.
and
And
he
and
has
he did
continued.
go.
We've continued since then, and then he's come back, and we've continued that again. Now, Brendan Rodgers gets a lot of criticism, right? I think it's unfair at times. Off some in support. Now, a lot of people have wanted for him to come back, but there is genuinely some people out there that will never forgive him, which I think is just utter nonsense. Personally, the guy is a serial winner. He's got the pedigree, he's got the up here especially. He's a proven winner. He shows again today, not even playing our best, but he changes it. He changes it, and mentality of this Celtic squad is not to be doubted. It is incredible, the mentality of this squad to go all the way to look like you've scored a winner in the 87th minute, to be pegged back and just go at that. An extra time, you know what? We'll calm down, we've got this. And to slot the penalties away with such great authority, do you know what? Fair fucks to them and fair fucks to all of them. I'm no signaling anybody out for criticism, because they all came together when the game was going against them and says, nah, fuck this, we're winning this trophy, and that is exactly what they've done.
Yeah, and also Josh, he said credit to Brendan Rodgers. We're on 119 trophies. Rodgers' first trophy was 100th for the club, and at the end of the day, that was only 7 seasons ago. So you said to me before we started recording, 1.5 trophies a season.
If you average it,
Yeah,
but
yeah. And that's mad.
And you know what? People may look at it and go at that. Oh, but Rangers won in the league. That's not our problem. It's never been our problem. They were financially mismanaged. Why is that? Why we still had to? And it's a complete see when people say that to me, it's a complete disrespect to everybody else in the league at that point. You try and tell that to St Johnstone or Inverness Caledonian Thistle or Ross County when they won League Cups and Scottish Cups when they won in the league. Oh, by the way, they don't matter because Rangers won in the league. Because I've heard that being branded about. I've heard that utter nonsense being branded about by their chairmen who say that because Rangers won in the league, that Celtic's titles don't matter. It's nonsense. They matter as much as anyone else. So, but
Listen,
back
you had Rangers fans had a 20 trophy lead in 2016 when they come back, right? We have now surpassed that. Now, I personally think they're a different club, but
we'll
at
get
the
into
end
that
of
because
the
we're here all
day,
day, man.
at the end of the day, it's a fact now. So we'll get the painters and decorators in, and but I'll tell you where we're at with this, Josh. And this is the last thing I'm going to mention about the trophy halls and stuff because it doesn't bother me.
No.
You won't get Celtic plastered all over the training ground, all over the park. I would certainly hope not because
Football can
we
change.
should be winning trophies. That's a big club mentality. And I'm glad you mentioned the word mentality because this team is took for granted.
Aye.
I've said it for weeks.
No, but back to Celtic, and it's this team are doing fantastic stuff. I think we've got players there who are really a really good, likable group of players, and that goes for every single player. And there might be players who aren't good enough. We know that, but there's a real good connection in that squad. And you know what? In credit to players like Taylor, like McGregor, like even the Japanese boys, Hatate, Maida, and Kyogo. Every time there've been new players, they've just kind of seamlessly connected with each other. And that's underrated because you can get dressing rooms up and down in world football where they maybe don't connect with a manager, but the professionalism, especially the Japanese boys, Maida and Kyogo and Hatate, they have, and Hatate especially, every time a new manager comes in, is Hatate off? But they continue just to work under a manager and whatever. And Arnie Engel said after the game, he was asked about Brendan Rodgers, and he says, we want to fight for him because he's a good manager. And that's what you want to hear. Yeah. Players like Schmeichel step him up. You think Kasper Schmeichel Day won his first trophy of his career? This guy's won the Premier League title.
FA Cup. But it means really been.
But it means everything to this club really because they know how much it means to the fans as well. It is, and people, we shouldn't take this stuff for granted because
no, I certainly don't.
It's it's been domination beyond domination at this point. We have had a quadruple treble, an undefeated treble. We have had 8 trebles, is it? I've had at this point.
Wait a minute. Big Steen 2, Martin O'Neill 1, Brendan Rodgers and Neil Lennon 4 between them. And 1, so that's you'd be right,
8 trebles. And it's every time we win a cup, you look at it and think that's ridiculous. That is utter ridiculous. And honestly, some of our fans might take it for granted. I don't know how you can. Because
playing for Celtic isn't easy, Josh.
I
don't care what anybody says. Because you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Football's a weird game. there might be one season where we don't like you don't know what's going to happen. So you need to enjoy what's going on now. For instance, Rangers did improve today, so you don't know. That's what I'm saying, especially when it's realistically a 2-team league. You don't know what's going to happen, but you enjoy what you're seeing now. I want to have a word, just about the penalties. As I said, I don't really want to go into. We'll maybe get into the game a bit more during the week, just kind of actually deep dive it a bit more and actually speak about the goals, whatever. But I'm absolutely. It's more the mentality of this squad that I look and think, yous are winners, yous are serial winners, and you know the one thing, right? And that maybe, and I'll openly admit, sometimes I'm a bit overcritical on this team because how high the bar is, and they've set that bar. So if they don't meet that bar, it's disappointing. But I want to talk about the penalties. We were criticised heavily for penalties last year. To be honest, I was shaking myself. Wait, I was like, oh no.
There were a couple, yeah, I was shitting myself as well, to be honest, in particular. For instance, without mentioning the guy, if Arnie Engels had missed, what it would have got. If Rio Hatati had missed, what it
If
would have
anybody had
got.
missed, anybody would have missed that. But
Yeah,
yet again,
but them
penalties,
two
nerves
in
of steel.
particular were,
Aye, nerves of steel. Cal
yeah, well,
McGregor
great penalties.
stepping forward, either stepping forward, a penalty like he done last year, under that pressure, and he can handle that pressure. Arnie Engels, have all the criticisms that you want. That guy's a 21-year-old. And, I probably didn't play the best when he came on today, but an assist, and he had nerves of steel. 21 in a cup final. I think that's his first cup final as well.
Let's be honest, it's probably his first cup final.
I would have been. So it's like to stand there at 21-year-old and put it away, and then Schmeichel's saving, and you see it on the other side. Tavernier gets up, because he is going to go up, but then you've got a number 9, and I look at this. I think Rangers fans are looking at this as well and going, oh, "What are you doing? You've got a number 9 there, who I'd expect my number 9 to be up there, stepping forward like he did on." I would.
There's no take one, that's what he did.
Their penalty takers were Tavernier. Butland took one. Yilmaz missed. I can't remember who, but Dessers never took.
Dow.
No, it wasn't Dow. Who was it again? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that Hadji took one. Sorry, Hadji was the one who took.
I had to.
I'd expect and that is yet again the mentality. The number, the number 9, also the number 10, who is meant to be this Albanian superstar, doesn't even take one. Daniel took one as well, actually. So
yeah.
I would expect, and that's the mentality. They've getting. You might look at it and go, "Oh, well, we've maybe missed penalties," but they're like, "No, I'm going to step up." Maida steps up and just. I want to talk about Maida because that's post-match is a bit all over the place, right? But it is going to be. But honestly, Dyson Maida, and I said this to my dad at the end of the game, we'll never get a player like him again. We won't.
No, there's no a player like him in European football.
And you know what? We ridicule his end product, but it's brilliant. His end product is brilliant.
I mean,
we talk about the press.
Can you think of a player that's remotely like him? Because I can't.
No, I can't. I can't because he just, and seeing against goes into extra time, you go at and you think, we've got a guy who he doesn't run out of energy. I've never seen the guy run out of energy because he is so good.
Even in the extra time now, the extra time was boring. Well, take my word for it. I don't know what it was like watching it in telly, but it was boring. But Maeda was the one. Well, everybody else has dropped like flies, is still up there trying to make a difference. And yeah, I agree with you, Josh. I think Maeda, out of all
He's,
the Japanese players we've had, he's the most underappreciated, I think.
he's outstanding. I'm honestly, every time the guy goes on the park, he's just brilliant. He's absolutely
I
brilliant.
think I'll cry if he ever leaves, to be honest.
Because his end product, he scored again today, he took that penalty. He's pressing as usual. They had three players on him at one point,
And he still got a goal and scored the one penalty.
and you can't. I'm sorry, you can't buy that. They have no, and that's that. They need, that's what they need. They need a player like that who is going to run you into the ground.
Did you
Like
did you notice when that's it, people say to me my A does not get game intelligence, right? He's like I thought he obviously clocked. He wasn't getting joy after having it because there were too many men on him down that side. So what does he do? Goes through the middle and gives Leon Balogun a heart attack to chase him down for our second goal. That's, and people say to me, he's not got a football brain. Give me
wild,
peace.
wild. And I'll
Give me
tell you
peace.
why it's wild. Now he might not have like a Kyogo brain when he knows how to get into attacking positions, but do you know what he's good at? When to press and when not to press. People who maybe aren't the Celtic supporters maybe just like, oh, he just runs about. But it's more than that. For me, Maida, he knows when to press and he knows when to stay in his position and he knows when to track back and defend. So that's a brain, and he's absolutely brilliant. I'm like honestly, he
We're
is, and
lucky to have him.
no, we are lucky to have him, and I think Brendan Rodgers needs to take a lot of claim for that, because let's be honest, under Angie's end product was it was pretty poor. I'm not going to sit, I'm not having a go at him,
As
but
I've said to you a couple of weeks ago, Josh, Dyson Maeda really plays out of position for Celtic. He's,
aye. But what I found Brendan Rodgers has come in and done, he's elevated him into a player that is not only a pressing machine, but has now got an end product to go along with that brilliant pressing. But it was just phenomenal. Alistair, before we finish up, I think it'd be rude not to have a word on the captain. He is. He's another player that I can't put any words. He's a proven winner. And you look at captains on the other side. Whatever. I don't care if Rangers fans, Brian, but he's a loser. We've said this for years. James Tavernier's a loser. He
yeah,
is like. But then you've got Cal McGregor, a proven winner. He's had Rangers players come up here and say that they're going to do this and going to do that. Cantwell, remember, he was
yeah. Now
fucking
Raskin
jabbing
was that frustrated today, ran down the tunnel and never took his runners up medal.
because
Although he's got plenty, mind you.
it's absolute. It's ridiculous. Like I seen they all some of them tried to sneak down the tunnel, as you says, but then you've got Raskin. He's cutting his ears and then he's on his knees come full time. But that's not a surprise at this point. And you know what, Rangers probably did play pretty well, and it could. And I will admit, it could have went any way. Penalty shootouts are like that. I do believe penalty shootouts are 50-50.
I personally, Josh, felt confident because for once, probably since Big Foster, I had faith in our keeper.
Aye,
And that
I know.
that was the one thing that kept me going in the build up. Oh God, this might go to penalty. We've got Casper there. I mean,
Aye,
I mean, whoever. Well, let's be honest. It was Brendan Rodgers. I could go down pound for pound in both spells.
oh,
Is
it's
Brendan Rodgers his best signing? You know.
it's the best signing of the summer. I said that a few weeks ago. I think after Hibs, I said that it's our best signing of the summer, and this is again, and I'm not just trying to it become the Brendan Rodgers show. But see if that's any other manager, he's not coming to Celtic. End of. I'm sorry, but the only reason Casper Schmeichel's at Celtic is because who our manager is.
He's still got a Premier League club.
That's
how highly I rate him.
Look at, I don't know, you look at a club down south, a Bournemouth or something like that.
Pick an Ipswich.
He's getting in that team.
Aye.
Even Leicester at the moment, he's getting in that team. But as I said, a quick word on the captain, because I always like to speak about the captain after we win a trophy. Cause I think it's...
Well, the guy hasn't lost a cup final at youth or professional level. I mean, how can you argue with that? And fair dues to Carl McGregor, because replacing Scott Brown as Celtic captain was not easy. I think that's been forgotten as well.
Aye, and he's stepped out of the role. And let's be honest, he was coming out into the captaincy of a season where there was... Cal McGregor would probably say he wasn't at his best that season. The whole club was in a mess at that point. But he's just been phenomenal. As you said, he's stepped into that role Scott Brown seamlessly. He's probably not the winder up that Scott Brown was. Now I've noticed he's brought that in his game a bit more, but I think Cal McGregor does his talking in the park. I think he does his talking in the park.
Guys my age will say, have told me he's very much like Paul McStay, although Paul McStay never had the luck when it came to winning trophies, but he just led by example, and that's all Cal McGregor does. But when it needs to be done, do you know what you never see Cal McGregor do, good or bad? He always shows, he's always cajoling the team. He's always, right, come on, let's sort this. If things are going wrong, and if somebody does something well, like every penalty kick we scored today, who was the first person up to them? Cal McGregor saying, well done.
Taylor made the mistake. He's right over to Taylor saying, but I think he's phenomenal, honestly. And I've met him a few times as well as a person. He is
great guy.
Great guy. There's a big, I always say this, there's a big kind of queue after the game outside Celtic Park to meet him, and he goes up every side and makes sure that everybody gets a photo. He's not in any rush to piss off. He's just a fantastic captain. And you know what it's like even when Rangers are celebrating or Raskin get close to McGregor, big whoop. It's just a shame we've got other players that can actually do something with football.
And I've said it all season. That's what's great about Rodgers' team.
And the thing is, I don't like Celtic play that. I thought Celtic could probably play a lot better.
Yeah, well, that was Celtic. I'm going to be kind and say 40%.
Aye. Alistair, another player I want to finish on, and I think we don't really speak about him a lot because obviously he's influencing the team on the pitch is probably dwindling a bit now.
Yeah.
It's James Forrest, who's became Celtic's most decorated player.
Yeah, 25 trophies.
You can't argue with it, honestly.
Really.
Another player, now maybe not this season, maybe not the last two, but even showed last season. Now, I'm not the biggest I'm not going to sit here and be a two-faced bastard and sit there and go at, because I've never really been the biggest Forest fan, but I do respect what he does for the club.
You can't deny the statistics. And it's not doing to luck, mate. You're not a Celtic first team player for basically 15 years. Well, it'll be 16 years by the time his contract expires. So you have to say, bloody oath. I mean, you think of the players that Celtic have had, 25 trophies.
It's mental. It's absolutely mental. But
No,
I
well
think
done to you, James. Hat off.
I think he's been brilliant, and he's played a part in every one of those league campaigns and trophy campaigns. Especially last season, I don't think we win the league if James Forrest
No,
doesn't
we
get that
don't.
run of form.
And I said it. And I said it this time last year. His goal. Well, no, this time last year. Last year, his goal against Dundee. Now, I've seen a lot of James Forrest goals in games. That's up there. The volley.
Aye,
That's one of the best goals you'll ever see.
aye. But I was thinking got a baller with man of the match because I just think, as I said, days
No,
like
it's
this, I
the
think,
squad players.
aye.
But if
And
I had to give it to one, Josh, I'd
Carter
probably give it to Maeda.
Vickers, I think, for me, if I was to give it one, just because we don't win that without that game, if Carter Vickers made that challenge, pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
4-on-1, I believe. How did they manage to muck that up, though?
because the one person they had to get by is Cameron Carter Vickers.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's a squad effort, and we've seen that at full time. Callum McGregor getting McCown didn't automatically win, but I think it's good to see that as well. That obviously
Well,
McCown can play.
get 'em used to it. Yeah.
Aye,
It's not, I don't like that rule, by the way. Cup tied. I
nah,
think it's outdated, to be fair.
aye, I think so. But I'm going to end it there, man, because we've been on for a while.
And
But
we're knackered.
but
I'm mentally drained, to be
I
honest.
know. But 119 trophies, you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
And the award that they made up and plastered about the stadium will need to come down over the next week. Which is just
But you know something, it won't.
it's going to be glorious how they dodge that because they'll change it to something else.
Yeah.
But Celtic have now became, in their words, the world's most successful club. But as you say,
I'm not saying that.
I'm going by their logic. That's what I'm going by. Their logic is that if you win more trophies than them, you're the world's most successful club. So, anyway, but as you say, Daz, the will not be passed. I hope we're not passed in a bit Lennox Town.
No, I cringe at that, to be honest.
Because we know what we need to do. We need to keep winning trophies and whatever. And I think it'll be hopefully the first of 3 this season. But I'm going to end it there and go back through the week.
Enjoy your week at work, boys, if you're listening, and give them hell.
Aye. But we'll be back through the week to probably discuss the game probably a bit more through the games. We've not really discussed. We're just going to discuss about the trophy and celebrations and stuff like that. I've not really actually discussed the game. You think about it.
If you want analysis, go to another Celtic podcast. But we're happy, so we move on and 119 and counting.
Anyway, there you go. But I will end it on that one. As I said, we'll be back through the week, and we'll look back on the game. Until then, we'll speak to you later, and hail, hail.